Welcome back, you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you the best investments for you over Make Your Mark Team 2. So you can make millions of coins on day 1, day 2, day 3, and throughout the promo. So if you're new around here and you need a team like mine, you're in the right place. And all you've got to do to say thank you is drop a like down below and subscribe. If you've got a team like this, you're probably fed up of teams like this or this. And whether you want your favorite cards as a Red Foot Champs card, or maybe you just want some coins to get who you want, so you can finally beat the sweats like me, then head over to skycoach.gg. Make sure to pick the amount of coins or rank that you want. Use Pro Recall 10 for 10% off at checkout and enjoy. Now, of course, many of you will know that our investment videos usually start on Footbin, but first of all, we're going to go over to the transfer list to show you this man. Now, of course, Di Natale, I sold him for 1.7 million. If we go over to the transfer market right now, he's probably going for like 2.2 mil. If we have a look over here, let's have a little look. Di Natale, probably not that one. And there we go. So he's going for 2.2 mil. I sold him at 1.7. Did I lose coins? No, I made 550,000 coins because I picked that bad boy up when he came out at around 1.2 million coins. Am I upset that I lost 500k? In theory, you know, I could have sold him for a bit more. No, because when I sold him, that wasn't the case. He's sort of sawn up, as all of the cards have. Your Ruben Diaz, your Sakas. You know, if you look at my team, lots of the players in my team have massively increased over the last few days. Now, of course, we've got Saka here. We're going to open up a link to him here, and we're just going to try find Di Natale as well. I can't see him on this main screen, but we're going to pop him over because he is one of the big dogs. Now, if we have a look at both of these, so Di Natale, when he came out, as I say, there was a point that he was 2.5 mil pretty much instantly. If we get over to the cross-play side, which is this blue line here, he then went all the way down to 1.2. So I actually bought him pretty much at the best point you possibly could. He then has since pretty much gone away all the way back up to near his initial price, and we saw on the market there it's about 2.3. Now, of course, I picked him up here and sold him at around this point here. It was a 1.7 pretty much that I got out of him. So I picked him up, I had him for 3 days, and then I got rid of him. Now, why did I get rid of him? Because actually he wasn't really in game playing up to what was a 1.7 mil card, and I don't mean that he was bad. I actually really enjoyed using him. My brother and my best mate actually played a game on my account. They hated him, and they're a lot better at FIFA than me, so I do take their judgment into account. So I sold him. Now, when I say he wasn't playing up to 1.7 mil, you can pretty much get every good attacker. If you're not talking about the current promo, you can pretty much get any of the best attackers for 1.7. Messi's not far off of that. Ronaldo, a little bit more, but there are definitely a lot better players that you can get for the same cost, which is why I sold. Now, I could have held out. I didn't realize he would get this high. Of course, Italy have been playing very well. He's probably a little bit higher right now because Italy have a game this evening. But when we look at Bukayo Saka, it's a similar tune. If we have a look from here, he came out at 2.8 mil, went all the way down to 1.8. So we had some people were losing 1 million coins if they bought here and sold here. He then went on, if we scroll up through here, obviously went to 1.9, 1.9, 1.9, 2.1, 2.4, continued to soar there and has gone all the way to 3.2 mil as of yesterday. Now, of course, he's gone down a little bit. England did not play as well today. He also didn't get the upgrade that he could have got today, but the reality is his card is going to soar more. I think he actually touches 3.5 mil at a peak. When England win their next 2 games, it's going to look very, very nice for that card. However, so of course, Di Natale, Saka, they were all part of the last promo, Path to Glory. Now, what does that tell us? What it does tell us, for one, is that the Path to Glory players, as soon as they came out of packs, absolutely had a huge rise. You had Walker as well, 1.4 down to 900. Once again, I made, I think, 400k on Walker at one stage, and then all the way back up to 1.5 there, and he's gone down to 1.2. He'll probably go down to as low as 1 mil again because England had a stinker today. So it's probably, if you've got the coins, worth maybe picking him up while he does touch 1 mil, because that's a good little investment. I think long term, that's going to go up to 1.5. Now, if we look at these players, these are of course the ones that we need to register, have a look at, because these are the ones that are going to be coming out. And of course, if we look at the likes of Mudryk, for example, he literally, I mean, his data on Footbin isn't available, but he is actually going for 200k right now. Started out at a whopping 800 and has gone all the way down. The one thing that you want to avoid with these cards is picking any of them up in the first 3 or 4 days. But then you've got the likes of players like the Pool. Now, the Pool came out, if we have a look here, came out at 1.2, right? So if we get that blue line, 1.2, went all the way down to what, 900 there, and is now 1.6. And these are the players that we're looking for. You're looking for the players who are going to be good in game. You're looking for the players who are going to have a rise because they are simply going to get an upgrade, or the view is that they're going to get an upgrade. If you look at the likes of players like Palmer, he's obviously one of them ones where he's absolutely ridiculously priced. He's been shooting down for a while. Why has Palmer shot down? because he's not been played. Now, Gareth Southgate is playing absolutely terrorism football, and the reality is he might not get on the pitch. That Cole Palmer card may not ever see the pitch. Now, what I'm going to personally do is try and get one for 1.5 mil on the basis that I do think that that man does touch the pitch. I think next game, realistically, changes have to be made. And part of these promos is you kind of have to be watching some of the games to get an idea. England fan, obviously. England is my nation, so obviously that's where I'm supporting. That's the games I'm watching. So for me personally, I know that our team has been terrible without him. It is almost guaranteed that he gets on in the next game as far as I'm concerned, because something has to change. So I'm going to pick them up on that basis. Now, of course, we can't all be investing in the most expensive players, and I do understand that. So what we need to be looking at on the new players front is which of these players would have been worth investing in. So obviously we've got the likes of Timothy Way, that's an SBC, so we can ignore that one. Scrolling down and just having a look at these players, which ones are worth an investment? Now, I would say if we look at the likes of players like Bozenic, players like Theater, you've got these players where 94 rated for the price that this guy is. I mean, this guy is a good investment. As soon as he's out of packs, 94, he can go up. Belgium aren't doing great, but the reality is that rating should not be that price. Similarly, Mudryk, I mean, they've been in the mud. If they have another bad game, I'd pick him up off the back of that bad game, because then you've got a good chance of hopefully getting some profit out of that one. The likes of Kolo Muani, his data isn't available on Footbin because he is definitely available, but he was going for an absolute fortune. If we have a look on the market, he is currently going for 600,000 coins. Now, he did go for 800 at a point. I do think he's potentially a good one to invest in. Obviously, once again, these are the more expensive players. Now, of course, when we scroll down, you've got the likes of Virgil van Dijk, who even he saw his own sort of downer in these cards. Now, what I'm going to suggest on the most part is when these cards come out, you're going to have to review based on the players and what the likelihood of is, one, them playing another game, two, them performing. And obviously this is going to be player by player, but meta players are going to be the priority. Arnold, on the filter of this thumbnail, is absolutely not really going to be one that I would suggest picking up. Why? Because he definitely doesn't get in the next game. Because the next squad, I mean, he's played awful at midfield. He can't beat Kyle Walker at right back. I would say that Arnold doesn't get in the next game, which means he can't perform defensively, which means potentially he can't get those upgrades. Now, going back to players that aren't based specifically on the promos, but just looking at what we can do to make some coins elsewhere. 83s, 84s, 85s are absolutely necessary at the minute. If you can pick them up on a dip, you're absolutely laughing. 88 equally are all 10k. These should rise if a big SBC comes out. So anything from 84 all the way from the looks of things, yeah, I'd say up to 88 is probably the best chance. And then when you go to these 90 whatever rating it is, I would say the best ones to go for, 92, because they're the same price as an 89, so they're the most sensible investment. The players I'd go for, Sosa, Bar, yes, Sosa, Bar, really, Sosa, Bar, Sanchez, all three of them are 5k less than the standard for their rating. Why? Because they're currently in packs, they're getting spammed, everyone's getting a ton of them. As soon as they come out of packs, they're going to go up. That's 100% a guarantee. These three players will all reach 28k. So you can make 5k a piece on all of these. If you pick up 10, that's 50. You pick up 100, that's 500,000 coins. So that's a very easy investment that you don't even need to try for. The other ones, of course, these are going to move up based on SBCs. So it is a little bit more difficult. I will admit it's not as certain as this. But of course, we know what SBCs are like. I think it's pretty certain that all of these are going to have movement. I would say play it safe. 84s, 85s, and 86s very easily. 88 if we get a big SBC that everyone's interested in. I think they've got to put a big icon out soon, because realistically we've not had one in a while. If you look at the icon page, we've actually got a very small amount of icons. It's probably the smallest we've had in a while. Drogba's been the biggest new addition. As you can see, I'm a sweat and I've done the Nike ones, but the reality is Drogba's been the biggest new addition. That was from like an event. That wasn't like an actual drop of a regular icon. We haven't seen the likes of Ronaldinho get a big card. Obviously, I know that he's had a card before, but the players like Pele hasn't had one. You've got other big players like Vieira haven't had one. You've got a lot of Team of the Year icons that have not seen any of this. And of course, there's also this card. I can't even remember what it is. The Foot Birthday, Ultimate Birthday. These cards are incredible. I think, for example, this Maldini that I've got here will probably see himself an SBC at some stage. So it's definitely worth thinking about. Obviously, in the initial, you want to get all those cards that I've run through. And of course, subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.